Hey guys, this is Sarah with Raven's Crochet. Thank you for coming back to my channel and hanging out with me. And thank you so much if you are newly subscribed. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here to see what I have to offer. I have lots of different stuff here. I order different yarns in specific colors. I have tips and tricks. I create my own designs and stuff. Not too good with tutorials. I'll make small attempts to do little short tutorials for you every once in a while. But for the most part, I will refer you to someone who's awesome with tutorials. And Raven, you can come up here. This is my furry feline Raven. I'm so glad you jumped up here. My channel is named after her. She's 15. She just turned 15 this past August, and she is my baby girl. I've had her since she was a baby, and so my channel is named after her. She is my comfort. I live alone, so she is my biggest inspiration in life, aside from nature, my family, and then pretty much yarn life when I'm not working, right? So I was tagged by Mama from Mama Musings. I believe that's her channel name. She is fairly new like I am. She has more subscribers than I do, but she's fairly new like I am, and she tagged me to do a video of 10 items to put in your crochet to go bag. That's what I'm calling it, crochet to go bag. Well, it took me a few days to come up with a list because at first I only had like 6 or 7 items, because I don't take much with me in my crochet bag because I have my purse full of essentials. But if I do take my crochet bag alone, and of course you obviously need your key, cell phone, and wallet, but the 10 items I would put in my crochet bag are as follows. By the way, I got some more yarn from Michaels. If I have enough time in this video, as my phone only records up to 34 minutes long, I will display that at the end of this video. Of course, it may be a next video, but I do have more yarn coming from Michaels from other states. And I've got another package of ice yarns coming. I know, more ice yarns. I'm obsessed. I can't help it, okay? I can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Gotta have my yarn from ice. Their shipping is so fast, and their yarn values are so great. $1.85 per ball with everything I got. Like, I'm just saying. I'm sorry, man. I love ice yarns. What you gonna do about it? Right? So I have a bag from Michaels sitting here that I ordered last night, and because of their local stores having supply in stock, I got this delivered this morning. So barely even 12 hours later, I think it was like 12:30 last night I ordered this. 10 hours later, bam, I got the yarn. So that's like really exciting. I can go ahead and start working with some of it. So excited. Okay, so my list to put in my to-go bag for crochet stuff. The number 1 is obviously yarn. You can't make your project without the yarn, right? And number 2 obviously is the crochet hook. Now, tip for you. When I bring my crochet project with me, 1, I will bring a smaller crochet hook with me, because sometimes at the beginning and the ends of your rows, the stitch may be a little tight. That smaller hook will help you stretch out that stitch just a little bit so you can get your main hook in there. I especially find this useful when I'm starting with the magic ring or I'm working a piece in the round, and that first stitch or that first chain that you make to start your stitches in the round, sometimes that can be a little tight, and the smaller hook is great for that. Sometimes I will use a smaller hook to make that stitch. I will just pull up the yarn enough to where it's accommodating my main hook. Say like I'm using a 6mm hook and I have a 4mm hook with me. I will use that 4mm to go into the stitch, pull up on the yarn to where as if I was using the 6mm hook, and I would work that stitch, or I would just replace it with a 6mm and complete the stitch. That's very helpful. You can also use a darning needle for this, but you know, crochet hooks have a little bit more strength and a little bit more oomph, you know, to get that crochet stitch opened so you can get your hook in there. And then 2, bring your least favorite hooks with you. Not your ultimate favorite ones, but your least favorite hooks that you will still work with, so that way in case you lose it, you won't be too sad. And it won't be expensive to replace. Like if you're bringing your furls hooks with you or your clover hooks with you and you lose one, that can be a little bit more pricey. So take your boy hooks with you, take your Susan Bates hooks with you, take your wooden bamboo hooks with you, or you're just plain metal cheap hooks. So those are 2 good tips. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6 are in my notions pouch. Scissors, stitch markers, darning needles, and tape measure. The scissors I like to travel with are foldable, and you can get these in bulk. I got this in like a 5-pack on Amazon. The link is in my description box below if you're curious. I have had it in most of my description boxes thus far. You pull them apart, and then there's the blades come down. Now if you get these and use them, please be mindful. These are extremely sharp. I have cut my fingers several times already using these. I've had these for like a year or so, and I use them all the time. All the time. And I have these everywhere. I have these sitting in a yarn bowl with some stitch markers. I have these in other project bags. And I have a couple of others still in the packaging if I need them. They're great for giveaways too. I love giving these in giveaways because they are just so small and travel friendly. They have little holes in the scissors, so if you want to make a necklace or something. But again, watch the kids, watch the pets. These are extremely sharp. Make sure when you fold them up, you see those little slots at the base of the finger grips. Those blades will go inside those little, you see that? Make sure those blades go in all the way before you push those back together. Because if you don't, that's how I nicked myself the first time. You're not pushing those all the way through, and the blades are down like this. You got your fingers displayed down here, and you're trying to push these together. That's how I cut myself the first time. Big long cut on my middle finger. I didn't bleed like a walnut or anything, but it hurt, so just be mindful. These are like, I can't stress that enough. These are extremely, extremely sharp. But it was a cheap price for decent quality. These handle parts, these are plastic up here, but you can find these in metal as well. The blades are, of course, metal. They have to be in order for them to work properly. You can find these in other colors too. I've seen them in the color rose gold on Amazon, which is a beautiful color. And then the stitch markers I like to use, I've got 2 different ones in here, but I like one better than the other, and I'll show you the difference. These are both opened. Neither one of them are locked into place. And I don't know if you can see the difference, but I like these better because that's opened enough to where I can get the stitch around this pointed piece, as to where of this one I have to hold it open with my fingers and it strains my hands. It can cause your arthritis to flare up holding it like this apart, so where I can get it in the stitch, and it just puts a lot more strain in my hand right here, and it kind of hurts after a little while moving the stitch, especially if I'm working in the round and I have to move the stitch marker up each round, and that's like maybe like 60 to 70 stitches apart. So that's constant straining in my hand, but I like these better. You can find these on Amazon, and you can find them on Amazon with a hook set, even for like $13, $14, $15. And you can get them a little bit bigger. This is a clover. You can't see it. My camera won't focus that much. But these are from Clover. You can order these on Amazon. I got these in Michael's craft store. I think Hobby Lobby might have them. Maybe Joann's. I'm not sure, but I know that definitely Michael's has them because that's where I got these. And I just think these work much better for me. But you use the stitch markers that you're most comfortable using. And they do have those stitch markers a little tiny bit bigger, which is what I prefer because I have big fat fingers. So, and then the darning needles. I keep my darning needles in this little round piece that I made. It's 3 rounds of half double crochet or single crochet, whatever. Little quick thing to make, and I keep various different sizes. I don't typically work with yarns that are smaller than a 3-weight yarn, so I don't need anything too tiny. These bigger ones are really great if you're working for bulkier yarns, because as you have a larger eye. But you have to be careful when pulling on this when you're threading your tails, because this little plastic loop, I've heard, for some people that plastic piece can break off on the tip of that darning needle. As long as your plastic piece is intact and it's not broken in the middle, you can just get some super glue and let it dry overnight. Easy peasy. Get one of those gel, tiny nozzle gel super glues. They work really great. So that's my variety. And then tape measure. I always gotta have a tape measure. You know, you just never know. This is from Hobby Lobby. It just has a llama on it, and it goes up to 5 feet long. Push the middle and it'll retract. And then for extra use, I've got silicone grippers to help with darning needles. Maybe my hands are a little clammy. Maybe there's too much moisture around and I need some extra grip to or protect my finger with the darning needles. And here's a cheap plastic hook. I got this from like Dollar Tree for like $1. They come in like a pack of 2. If your Dollar Tree has any, you can get these hooks there. And this is a 5mm here, but it's just an extra hook. So it's one of my least favorite hooks that I can take along with me, and I won't be sad or unhappy if I lose it. Let's see. You can order these online or get them from craft stores too. These are like little row counters. You put this right on your crochet hook. And then you can, every time you finish a row, you can turn one of the dials. They go up from 0 to 9, and you can just keep track of how many rows you're doing. This will fit on a 4mm to a 5.5 or a 6, give or take. So I have that in there. And then I have one from my great-grandmother. She's the one that first taught me how to crochet. I don't really use it because it's sentimental. I don't want to mess it up, but it has like a little tape measure built in. And it still has the row counters in it. And this one will fit like a 2mm up to maybe a 4mm. So they have these in various sizes. You can order them on Amazon, possibly eBay. And you can find these. I don't know if you can find this one at a craft store, the one with the tape measure in the middle. I'm not sure if you can still get these or not. Possibly online from a used seller. But that's about all I have in here. One thing that I find is helpful for bulkier yarns, like if you're working with like a 6 bulky weight yarn, you can use this as a stitch marker. Now this is not long enough. This is just a sample piece that I chained up, tight chains with a crochet hook. Make it longer so that way you fold it in half, loop it through the stitch you need to mark, and then you take your ends and you put those through the loop, and then that will sit tight on your stitch without falling out. And these work great for bulkier yarns, like big time. I love those stitch markers. I love using extra pieces of my favorite yarn, making a chain about 10 inches. That's pretty much long enough to loop over a bulky weight stitch. I love using that. I've got a few in here actually. Right, there's one. It's just some leftover yarn. This one's probably long enough, and it's a smidge too short, but I don't have very many in here. I threw most of them away because they just weren't useful. But my favorite yarns, like there's a colored one right there, but it's just way too short. But I like it because it's pretty. And then I've got buttons in here. One of Raven's whiskers is sitting in here. And then I have a weaving tool to help get your yarn through the eyes of your darning needles. And so that's helpful too. I keep that in there. So scissors, stitch markers, darning needle, tape measure. That was up to number 6. Number 7, I like to keep a small bottle of lotion. I don't have one on hand right now, but Gold Bond is my favorite thing to use because it really, really helps with dry skin. There's another one, it's called like Aquaphor or something. It's a real small bottle, but it's like a little bit thicker consistency of the Vaseline. But all you need is like a dab of it. One small dab goes a long way. This I have to use a little bit more. But the Aquaphor is really, really good. It's purse size, and it's really, really great to where if your yarn is catching on your dry skin, you can take care of your nails and your cuticles and your hands, and then wait a couple of minutes, and then you can crochet again, and your yarn won't stick to you as much. So that's good to have. I always keep lotion with me because of dry skin. Number 8, if I'm working a pattern, I'll have the pattern with me, or I'll have an image or a PDF file on my phone. So I'll either have the pattern with me or my phone. Well, my phone is always with me anyways. Number 9 is tissue. I always like my tissue, my Kleenex tissue. I'm blowing my nose like crazy all the time, mostly due to allergies. I suffer from allergies all year round now. It used to be only like springtime for me and maybe once in the winter time, but now it's like all year round. I don't know what it is, but I have developed allergies for a multitude of things, and it drives me nuts. So I keep tissues with me all the time. When I go to Dollar Tree, I'll buy 2 or 3 packages of those little bitty travel size, pocket size tissue packs. They come in a pack of 6 when they have like special Disney characters on them, or a pack of 8 if it's just a plain Jane pattern. And it's decent quality tissue. They're not rough. To me, they feel like they have like a little bit of lotion in them, but they're really great. Just whenever you go to Dollar Tree, just make it one of your main priorities. You always go in there for tissue, facial tissue. No matter what you're buying, that's just what I do. I go to any one particular store, I buy 1 or 2 of this because I know they always have it, and then I get what else I need. Number 10, a piece of my work I've already made, like the to-go bag itself has been crocheted, or I have a scarf I'm wearing, or a hat, or something like that, something small. So that way, if someone compliments you, or if they want to see what else you can make, you have that piece already right there with you that you can show off. On my electric scooter, I have a bag that I crocheted. It's one of those basic granny square bags. And that link is in my description box below. If it's not, then I will put it in there. But that is from Mike at the Crochet Crowd, I believe. I'll just put that link in the description box below anyways, because you might get curious. It's really, really simple. You do a granny square until the bottom of your bag is as big as you want, and then you skip 1 space in the middle on each side, each 4 sides. You skip the very center stitch every round after that, and then the body of the bag will just go up, 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 up. And then when it's as high as you want, you just go around the entire thing, attaching the 2 corners together, and you make the handles. It's super, super easy. I'll leave that link below. So I have one of those bags on my scooter, so I keep like my hats in there, gloves, you know, maybe a scarf if it's cold outside. So that stuff will be sitting in that bag when I'm at work, and then when I leave work, I just put that stuff back on. It's also great for putting groceries in. I'll put like a 2-liter in there, maybe a box of crackers or something like that on my way to work. Then I have a much, much smaller granny square bag that is big enough to hold a water bottle. And I love that. I have my drink hanging right there off my handle on my scooter, and it's in that little water bottle thing. Water bottle hand. It's like a miniature bag. It's so cute. So that's all I have in my to-go. Let me just show you that bag because you might want to see it. Let me get it. It's just right over here. It's okay, Raven. I'm wearing my skulls today. I'm already celebrating Halloween. Check this out. House pants! Bam! Here's the bag. You make the bottom of the bag as big as you want. Then you skip a stitch on each 4 sides, and it just goes up, 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 up. That's the side that I skipped. And then you go all the way around and you make your handles. Isn't that cool? I used that baby twist yarn, the black with the rainbow. So I hang this right over my handlebar, and my drink goes right in. Boosh. And this just holds great on my scooter. I'll ride with this to work if I want to bring my own cup or whatever. So I use that every day. And then that's it for that. So I'm at 19 minutes. I don't have enough time to show you guys this yarn. So I will show you guys this yarn in my next video. And I just wanted to mention, since I showed you my pajamas I'm rocking out right now, skulls are a good thing because we all have one inside our head. Skulls are not bad. We all have one. As long as we're not putting like glowing red eyes and making the skulls look like a demon or anything like that, skulls are a good thing. And if I remember correctly, the 3 heels, and if you don't want to hear this part, this is religion. You're welcome to say goodbye at this point. But the 3 heels where Jesus and those other 2 sinners were crucified. Of course, Jesus was never a sinner, but there were two other men being hung up on a cross just like Jesus was. The name of that hill is called Golgotha, and it has something to do with skulls. I can't remember where I found the research at. One of my mother's ex-husband was also telling me about it because he had that painting of Golgotha with the 3 crosses on the front of his Harley Davidson bike, and he had skulls painted all over too. But no colors in the eyeballs. The eye sockets were just always black, always negative. That's another reason why I bought these pants. There's no glowing eyes in the eye sockets. So they're not demons. I'm not displaying anything bad. Just like this one, it doesn't have any glowing eyes. It's a skeleton skull like I've got inside my head. So there's nothing wrong with skulls. We all have to have one to live. So anyways, that's all I had to say about skulls. But thank you for joining me, and thank you for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great week, and have a happy crochet day. Love you guys. Raven's snoozing off, so I think I might take a nap before I head to work. See you guys later.